when we'd pretty thoroughly beat the Germans, General Bradley moved his headquarters to Wiesbaden, which is along the Rhine River in Germany. And there I found an English church. We Protestants had had a difficult time finding places to worship in Europe because we were forbidden to use Roman Catholic churches. And so here was one that would be just right for us. Wiesbaden, however, was in a shambles. There had been very heavy bombing of this city, which really was a spa for the German people, a resort city. And there was a great ring road around Wiesbaden on which there were many Protestant churches, but every one of them had been badly damaged. But I found StAugustine's, and I was delighted. It looked like it was in pretty good shape. So I got an engineering officer to come with me, and we went down. We had a hard time prying the door by the tower open, but we got it enough so we could squeeze through and get into the church, which looked pretty good until I heard this engineer officer say, "Chaplain, put your helmet back on your head. This roof may fall on us any moment." And that's how we got introduced to St. Augustine's Church in Wiesbaden. It was, however, a very happy find. The church itself was in great disarray. A great many of the chapel chairs had been piled up around the altar, I think for protection of the altar. But in other parts, it had been really desecrated. I was told later that angry young Germans belonging to the Hitler Youth had come into the church and just wreaked as much destruction as they could inside it because of their hate for the enemy they were opposing. And so it was a distressing church to go into in many ways. The church itself was a gift of the Hessian government to the English community. The Duke of Hesse had thought that they ought to do that to make their English visitors feel more at home. And so he provided them with this When church. We were unable to use the English church, and I could find no other church that was really quite suitable for use, I decided that, well, we'd move into the casino. The casino was a huge and handsome building, and they had a vast auditorium for the Wiesbaden Symphony. There, we only used that for our big general service, but I had an earlier service in their library, and this was a beautiful marble room with paintings on the ceiling. The paintings on the ceiling were of Greek gods and goddesses, not very heavily clothed. And in fact, they were beautiful in their undress. And I thought that when I preached there, I was preaching against an almost impossible competition. I thought the congregation preferred to look up at the ceilings rather than to listen to me and to what I was trying to say.